I spent $8,727 on this game, Whiteout Survival, and I'm only 68 days in. I'm trying to play as what I'm calling an efficient whale. See, I spent way too much too fast, about $6,000 in the first 20 days, and then I had a plan to spend $15,000 for all of 2026. You'll notice my Frost Stars went up. Yes, if you follow me regularly, there's a 5% bonus on Frost Stars right now, so I was like, you know what? It's unlikely that I'm able to stick to the $15,000 budget, so let me just throw in an extra $1,000 now that the Frost Stars are on sale again, and you get this 5% bump, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it. And my justification for it is mainly the Chinese New Year event coming up. But today I'm going to focus on romance season, and I'm going to continue this Rosarian ratio testing. I'm going to tell you what I did tonight, but before I do that, let me do the spending and stuff. But I actually used WOS tonight, and I calculated exactly what my ratio should be. And even though I promised some of you I would try your ratios from the comments, I don't need to do that anymore. I got a formula. The WOS Nerd spent a lot of time on this, so I'm going to come back around and explain that next. So first things first, let's just go through some quick spending opportunities here. It is Hall of Fame, Hall of Chiefs today, and I put my head on the right-hand side so that you can see my power and some other things from the other events. We'll see how that works. But I'm in Hall of Chiefs, I'm not really trying to win this at all, but it is the charm upgrade, and I have been waiting to do some charm upgrades. The thing is, I think we have SVS prep coming up in like 3 weeks, so I don't want to use all my charms and stuff on an event when I know SVS is coming up. So I'm going to spend a little bit towards it, but I'm not going to be actually using them. I'm going to save them. So we'll see. I'll just verify after recording this that charms are something that are used for SVF. I think they probably are because they're key items. So I would be surprised if charms aren't part of SVS prep. I'm not going to do anything with the lucky wheel, but I am going to do what people have suggested, and I'm going to grab that free spin. So I'll grab that free spin and use it for the next hero later. And that's all I have for events. Oh, and the other thing for events, let's see. The Symphony of Change, I finished that off. And let's go to deals. So there are some things, not in the deals, but in the, where was it? Yeah, so the custom armament chest, is something, I'm getting to the point where we're getting ready for SVS prep soon, and there's a bunch of stuff I'm trying to press. So I'm going to continue, I'm going to buy the Lucky Hero Gear chest just to get a chance at some more mythic gear when I start pressing the gear, the hero gear. And I think that's, a decent deal for spending $5 towards a VIP anyways. I've already done the $5 custom pet chest. I did do a little bit of training because we had the 30% training boost active, and I just wanted to press the troops. I wanted to make sure I had 6 full marches in case I need them for PvP type of events. We do have, it's a research day for Hall of Chiefs as well, so there is this research going on. And again, because we're getting in the area of SVS prep, I'm gonna buy this, but I'm not gonna use it. Just at the $5 mark. It's, it's an efficient spend from the point of view of getting some VIP. And that's it. And the same with the Charm Craftsman Value Pack. I am gonna grab this, and I feel like I'm a little low on the Charm guides, but I'm gonna grab this at the $5 mark as well, just so that I can have, it's a $5 VIP spend is what it is. It's, not all about efficiency for that one. And the City Boost pack, we are gonna be having Fire Crystal soon, but again, gonna save it all for SVS prep. But again, from the perspective of VIP spend, I know I'm doing a bunch of spending tonight, but I'm gonna buy these at the $5 pack because it's a good $5 VIP spend. Then we have the gear enhancement. We do have this coming up in Hall of Chiefs as well, but I have enough to press Alonzo's widget a little bit. I think I am going to press Alonzo's widget a little further, so I'm at least going to buy this at the $5 mark. We have 3 more days on this, so I'm going to also look and calculate, like, how far do I really want to press his widget, and then make sure that I have enough, because it's kind of hard to get widgets. You get them from certain things, but it's easy to get them this way, and I need it for the VIP spend anyways. Then we have they have the Conqueror pack out. This is tempting to pick up from the from the perspective of just a VIP spend, like I was just talking about, but I don't know. I don't think I really need that. I have a couple more days on it to decide as well. Same with the Glacial Traveler. It's like, these are nice things to have for SVS type of activities once you get into, teleporting around other states and stuff like this. And PvP battles. So those are some nice things to have, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Curious to know your comment if you think that that's something I should really not skip. I'm going to grab the daily deals like I always am doing, and then clear out my ultra value card. Okay. So I think that's all. Oh, no. And then we've got this. So this is a big spending day. Sorry. And then I'll get to the Rosarian. So my plan on this has changed ever so slightly. I got a really great comment from the community. I'm going to continue to buy this up to the $10 amount, which ends up being a total spend of $18 a day. And this will give me enough shells to get the island decorations I want, basically. This will give me enough shells. By the end of this event, I should be able to get the Harbor of Hope and this Love Struck island decoration, whatever you call it, building. That's all I'm going to do. So the more I thought about it, somebody said, hey, why don't you just save the shells? Because the shells don't go away. Save the silver shells and use them when the value of the shop gets better. So that's what I'm going to do, because why spend them now when you'll get more per shell as the shop ages, and there's no reason for me to burn them right now. I mean, it would be nice to pick up some charm guides or designs, whatever I need. I'd have to calculate what I need more of, but why spend it now? There's no reason. I don't really need to press it that hard right now, so I'll just pick up these island decorations. Now, I could swear that the value for the shells on the previous event where I saw Harbor of Hope was worse, but maybe it was because there was some type of random aspect to getting the shells or something too. I can't recall exactly, but I'll trust you guys who've told me that it's the same price. But even if it is the same price, it's like now is the time to buy this, because it's quote unquote only. It's going to cost me $90 over the course of this event, and I'll be able to get the Harbor of Hope and this building, which are both limited types items. And when the shop value is better, I won't have to worry about kind of wasting the spend when the shells will be worth more. So right now the shells aren't worth as much for all the other items, but these items, people are telling me that that'll always be the same price. So I'm like kind of doing the spend now and getting items with the shells that aren't going to change in price, and then later I'll have more of the shells to get the things that are the better value. So that's where we stand there. I will continue to grind these. Ooh, wrong thing. Touched the wrong thing. I will continue to grind these daily missions as well, and fill out the Petals of Desire and all this good stuff. So now let's and the Marvelous Fantasia. Like, I don't see a point. If you look at this, this looks to me like a true whale competition. Like, there are people who are just pressing this. Like, look at these numbers. Like, they're going crazy with this thing, and they have to be spending money because it gets progressively more complicated. It's basically like, what's that game, Mahjong or something like that? It's a fun game to play, but I'm not going to spend any money on it when you have people posting numbers like this. And apparently, what they want is these skins, the skin tokens, which is right now, I think the only thing it's used for is the mushroom city and things like that, which, you get them over time anyway. So like, I don't really need that. I'm having fun with the game. I do like Mahjong, and so I like playing this game, and I'll play it, and I'll just play it up to the maximum rewards, and then I'll be done with it. And that's it. Then we have the Bloom Battle, and here's where I wanted to talk. So essentially, I was showing my ratios last night, and everybody I've been talking to will give me a different ratio, and everybody claims their ratio is the best. And I was curious about this, so I went, watching some other creators, and then I stumbled upon WOS Nerds, and they have a spreadsheet that actually, like, it's used for Bear, and then they adapted it for Rosarian. And all you have to do, I'm not going to say it's easy to use a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is comprehensive. They've done some research. They've done some experiments. They've vetted the math, and they gave me the percentages down to a T. Like, even if I wanted to do it by the exact number of troops instead of by percentages, then they'll give you the exact numbers to use. But it counts for everything. It counts for like pet buffs, which I don't have any pets that give you buffs like that right now. But it accounts for pet buffs and your widget level and your star level down to the decimal, like if it's 3.3 or 5, 5, whatever. Your widget level, your gear level, like that you have to put in your gear, your hero stats with and without gear, so it can calculate the difference. It's got and then your base troops. So you have to go into your power settings and look for your base troops attack and lethality, and then your infantry attack and lethality, marksman and lancer attack and lethality. You have to input all this data, and once you do that, then on the left-hand side of this spreadsheet, you can just pick the heroes. And if you're doing bear, if you're running it for bear, you can actually see like play games of like, all right, if I'm using these heroes and I get joined by these players, what's the best lineup and what's the multiplier? So I did all this, and for my specific account, I got a ratio of 1:1782. So I know I promised some people I was going to run some ratios, but I'll tell you what, that ratio is dangerously close to, somebody gave me 1:1584 and said they're in Gen 12, and this is what they recommend. A lot of people recommended, several people recommended 5:590. A couple did like 5:1085 and all that. Here's the deal. It depends on your specific account. So go to WOS Nerds. I'll put the link in the description to their Discord, but go to WOS Nerds, use their Excel spreadsheet, put in all the data. They have a description on their Discord, and then see if it works for you, because that's what I'm going to do tonight. So for comparative analysis, and for the purpose, of the sake of the vid, I'm wasting gems for you because there's another really good comment. If I really wanted to be efficient, I'm calling myself an efficient whale and I keep on losing opportunities to be efficient. The ideal way to do these buffs would be to do them like right before to do your event right before the reset and then do it right after the reset. So that way you're getting double dipping on the buffs, right? You enable the buffs right before the reset, then do your Rosarian at the end of that day. And then on the next day after the reset, you still have the buffs active and you can do it again. So you can basically get 2 events for the price of 1. I can't do that because I'm on the wrong cycle and I'm a content creator and I need to do this video and show you a comparative analysis to what my stats were yesterday. Now, there were some small changes to my account, but they should be relatively small, not anything super meaningful. Like, some of the gear went up a little bit because I'm still saving for SVS prep. But these stats should be pretty much what I did yesterday. If you look, I put my head on the right so you can see, but this is the lethality bonus and the attack bonus, deployment capacity bonus. And then I also have Minister of Strategy so that I can get the deployment, the extra troops attack, and the Minister of Strategy, the troops deployment capacity increase. So that's where we stand right now. I think my head on the right is working well for this Rosarian thing. So here we go. Let's see. Yesterday I posted, it clears it every day. So yesterday I posted 620,000 points. Yeah, 620,000 points, I believe. Let's see what I'm able to do today with... Now, I loaded this as my bearer configuration as well. You could do it down to the actual troop count, which is slightly more accurate, but the reason I did it by percentage is because that way when I have certain buffs enabled, I don't have to worry about recalculating the exact amounts. This way, this is close enough. The real number was like 82 point something, and something like that. It wasn't a clean 82%, but this is close enough. So here we go. Let's see what damage this does. And if I remember last night, it was I forget how much. Yeah, we'll just keep it relative because and there is an RNG factor because of the hero, actions and things like this can be different every time. All right. Oh, that was substantially higher. I think yesterday I was in the range of 140 to, 120. I'm sorry, 120 to 100, it was 114, 119, stuff like that. So that is substantially higher. So there is something to this calculation. 11782 is what the calculation ended up being for me, but you're going to have to go through your account, go through the spreadsheet, and figure out what the perfect ratio is for you. So 11782. But that's not your ratio. That's my ratio. It depends on the the level of your heroes, the level of your widgets, like your island decorations, all those things, all of that comes into play. And they boil it down to where you just have to put in all the numbers and they do the calculations for you, and you can see what the ideal ratio is for you based on all those details. So it's not for the faint of heart. It does take, a little effort. But yeah, look at this. These are some nice scores. Oh, gotta wait for them to come back now. These are some nice scores. I'll have to say that spreadsheet is intimidating, but obviously it was worth it. It was very intimidating because they have some little screenshots in there as well to help you understand what they're trying to say. And if you go on the Discord, it'll also help you because they have a little guide there, and then people in the Discord could help you as well if you have any questions. But probably, if you're like me, all the questions you have you'll already have answered. Will already have been answered. So all you have to do really is go on the Discord, find the thread about the Rosarian, and somebody even they adopted this from the bear. So somebody created a variant of the spreadsheet that was specifically has a little toggle for the Rosarion. You can kind of put it on Rosarion mode or not. So that's all I did. I used the Rosarian version of the spreadsheet, popped it into Google Drive, put all my numbers in, and I got my ratios. It's not really that easy. It's really not that easy. But so worth it. Man, look at this. Look at these numbers. 620 was my score last night. If you don't believe me, go watch the video. Wait for this to return, but man, very, very worth it. So now this has me thinking about my bear ratios also. I was playing around with 1198 because it logically made sense. And the same for this, that marksmen do the most damage, but it really does depend on all the stats of your heroes. So, grab this again. So I made this my primary bear rally now, and hopefully I'll see better bear scores as well. I have to do this with my low spend account now as well, so I'm going to have to maintain two different spreadsheets, and as my account evolves, I'll have to continue to update the values in the spreadsheet. And then see. And in this spreadsheet it covers like all the heroes and everything, pretty much. I mean, up until I think they said Gen 12. No, that Gen 12 is, I don't even know if it's out yet, but I think they said it goes up to Gen 10, and I think they said like after Gen 10 maybe. They haven't really tested it that much. That's what's cool about these guys at WOS Nerds. They're the people who are not only just doing the math, but doing a lot of experimentation and providing all that feedback and vetting the math as well. Well, that wasn't such a great one. I just got some bad luck on that one, but 122. But that's still about as high as the highest I got yesterday. I think the highest I got yesterday was 124. All right. One more whack at this thing. Let's get a good one in. Let's see what my total score is. This is exciting. I feel like I learned something brand new today. For anybody who watches me who doesn't know, I'm gonna basically be a fan of WOS Nerds now because this is what I like. I like seeing people doing like the experimentation and the math and vetting it with real world experiments. You and I can't do that alone. We only get 5 whacks at this thing. But after many, many trials and samples and tweaking and tuning, they're able to compile all that data and come up with a formula that gives you the best outcome. 127. All right, so I had 2 bad whacks at the end. But let's see where that puts me. $663. So that is a good 40,000 more points than yesterday. And substantially more than the first time I tried this. So that is quite the difference. That is nice. If you want to do this for yourself, so here's the thing. Let's stop debating perfect ratios. You have to, the perfect ratio for your account is going to be based on so many variables that it's hard for you to calculate on your own. They put this in a spreadsheet, so go check that out. And that's your ratio, not my ratio, but your ratio. So that's kind of cool. So that comes really close to Somebody recommended 1:1584. They said that's working for them in Gen 12. Actually, it's working for me here in Gen 2 as well. So that's kind of nice to know that. All right, let's see. What else do we have? I have I did all the spending for the romance events, and I forgot to show VIP value yesterday. So let me move my head back over to the left, and let's just take a look at VIP. So here's where my VIP grind stands. You know, making good progress on it. But I'm at the point now where I'm pretty sure that I'm totally sure that by the time we do Chinese New Year, we're gonna be at VIP 12. So I think probably by the end of this month, between gem spending and purchases, we're gonna be at VIP 12. So that's exciting to know. And then I get to start seeing puzzle pieces for things I can't really afford. So let's take a look at the pets quick, just so you can see what's going on there. But essentially, I'm not doing any anything other than leveling them up. So once we get to SVS prep, then I'll start using the wild marks. So nothing special worth showing you there other than that. And the arena results. Let's take a look at what I did. These whales there are killing me in these other states. So let's see where I ended up. Where is it? System. Arena of Glory. 3. Hey, all right. I did some very last minute sniping. One of the big whales hit me right at the last minute. I was actually in second place, but that's nice. All right, I'll take that. Third place. These. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know. I know it shifts very quickly, but these are the whales I'm dealing with. And this isn't even like the guy who hit me was like 18 mil. Right? Yeah, this guy is like 18 mil. So this is what I'm up against. Take a look at this. This guy crushes. He just waits to the end and just crushes everyone. He doesn't even need to really worry about it too much. He just waits to the very end and just crushes anyone who's at the top because he can beat everyone. That's what I did when I was at the top, right? Look, he's got all of his widgets are maxed out. He's got, plus 20s on Geronimo, red gear plus 20s on Geronimo. He's got Philly with red gear and plus 20s, and Alonzo with red gear and plus 20s. I mean, come on. And look at his state. We're 37.94, he's 37.96. I mean, playing right around the time that I've started playing. So I don't even want to know what his spend is because I know what mine is, and I hear what you guys are saying, the people who are telling me like what I'm doing. It is definitely a whale. I'm trying to be an efficient whale, but it is definitely whaling by most people's standards. But that guy's next level. And that's what I'm dealing with in Hall of Glory. Well, I hope this helped as far as the Rosarian, because this experimentation is kind of like put to an end now. Like I understand now what's going on. I don't understand I'm a math guy and software engineer, but I haven't gone through the spreadsheet to understand all the math and what the components are, but I think it's basically just taking all of the offsets and calculating them. And then doing some kind of comparison to figure out what is the best, like based on the specific hero, what is the best ratio for that particular combination. You can play around with the combinations as well and see what is the best ratio for you, and also what are the best heroes. Like as you get into like Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, you can start playing around with different combinations and saying, well, based on my account and all the stats that I have in my account, maybe these particular heroes are better at this point in time until some point later where your stats change. And then you can see, well, these heroes are better now. And that's good for both Bear and for this Rosarian. So I hope that helps you. It helped me quite a bit. This was fun to do tonight. And I hope you understand my spending strategy now. Again, on the Silver Frost shop, I'm basically going to just go for the 2 island pieces and then save the rest for the next event that has the silver shells. If you like this content and you want to see where my journey goes, I'm going to be documenting this every single day, and you're going to see that number go up. You're going to see how I'm able to manage the budget, how I evolve as a player, and all that. So make sure you give me a like, you subscribe, and turn on notifications because I do go live every now and then. And that way, whenever I post anything, whether it's a live or one of these videos, you'll get to see it every day. Make sure you also comment. I like seeing your comments. And not everybody agrees, but hey, I get to go through your comments. I'm learning from your comments. You're learning from me, hopefully. You're being entertained at least. And we're learning from each other. And I'm kind of soaking that all in and using it to make my decisions. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.